Hi, and welcome to Talkamatic. My name is Amelie, and in this video I will be presenting and demoing the ANT, Automatisk nummerupplysning via telefon project. Let's get started. ANT is a year-long project funded by PTS, where we work together with Eniro, who provide knowledge and insight about their service, agents and customers, and Research Institutes of Sweden, RISE, who contribute with their expertise and resources regarding testing. We are also working with a phone front-end powered by the Telia ACE platform together with Google DialogFlow components. The goals of the project are twofold. First and foremost, helping the customers of the Eniro 118 400 service get connected to the people and places they need or want to talk to. These customers are people with different disabilities that make them unable to look up numbers or call for themselves. For this project, the focus is on the elderly customers with decreased eyesight. Secondly, the project is also meant to assist the human operators at Eniro by taking a portion of the simpler calls off of their plate and leaving them more time to give great service to the more difficult ones. This, of course, also helps with the first point as well. Early in the project, we created a persona of the typical 118 400 customer named Magda. Magda is an 80-year-old woman, and her eyesight has been declining over the years, as it does for many of us. Because of this, she struggles with looking up phone numbers, and thus she has received access to the 118 400 service to help her make calls to family, friends and healthcare without having to worry about reading and typing the numbers herself. Now that we know a little about Magda, let's head into the demo. First off, Magda wants to call Elinor Rosengren. Elinor is her sister, whom she calls often to talk.
Hej, vem vill du ringa?
Jag vill prata med Elinor Rosengren.
Elinor Rosengren?
Ja.
Vill du att jag kopplar dig till Elinor Rosengren som du har ringt förut?
Ja, tack.
Jag kopplar dig till Elinor Rosengren.
At this point, the call is made to Elinor Rosengren. Another time, Magda needs to get in touch with Jonas Larsson, who is her granddaughter's partner. She doesn't know him that well, and she doesn't know his personal phone number. But since her granddaughter's birthday is coming up, she wants Jonas's help to buy some flowers or a gift for the granddaughter.
Hej, vem vill du ringa?
Jag söker Jonas Larsson.
Jonas Larsson?
Ja.
Vänta lite medan jag söker. Jag hittar 14 personer. Vet du i vilken stad personen bor?
Göteborg.
Okej, jag hittar 8 personer. Vet du på vilken gata personen bor?
Utlandagatan.
Okej, jag hittar en person. Jonas Larsson på Utlandagatan i Göteborg. Är det rätt?
Ja.
Vill du att jag kopplar dig?
Ja, det vill jag.
Jag kopplar dig till Jonas Larsson.
And then she gets connected to Jonas Larsson's number, and they can figure out a gift for the granddaughter. Lastly, imagine that Magda has a contact in her call history, but she needs to call someone else who has that same name. Now, for this example, this might not be a common situation with this particular name. It's just a simple way to illustrate a case where Magda can reject the contact and instead get a search done in the Eniro directory.
Hej, vem vill du ringa?
Jag vill ringa Elinor Rosengren.
Elinor Rosengren?
Ja.
Vill du att jag kopplar dig till Elinor Rosengren som du har ringt förut?
Nej, inte hon.
Vänta lite medan jag söker. Jag hittar en person, Elinor Rosengren på Ängskärsgatan i Stockholm. Är det rätt?
Ja.
Vill du att jag kopplar dig?
Ja, tack.
Jag kopplar dig till Elinor Rosengren.
And at this point, Magda gets connected to this other Elinor Rosengren. And that was it for the demo. Now, the most prominent and key dialog features of this project are the following: grounding, incremental search, handover, and being able to reject a contact from the user's call history in favor of a directory search. Let's look at some examples of these features. First of all, we have grounding. Grounding is about making sure that the user and the system, or two parties in a conversation in general, are on the same page and share the same common ground. In this case, we see the system repeating the name given by the user to let the user know that it heard it correctly. This kind of action gives the other speaker a chance to correct the system if there was a mistake. Another example is how the system asks the user if the result is correct towards the end of the dialogue, before asking if the user wants to be connected to that person. Next, we have incremental search, which is naturally a huge part of this project. Incremental search is essentially a way to narrow down a search result from a lot of hits to one correct result by giving further information that the resulting hits need to match. In this case, we can see the number of hits decreasing as information about city and streets are added. Handover to a human agent becomes an important feature when we want to create a service that helps both users get connected to the person or place they seek, and when we want to assist the human agents with simpler cases. We need to make sure that the system can hand over the task to a human agent when it can't narrow down the search enough or can't find a result at all, to avoid frustrating situations for the users. In this case, we have a situation where Lovisa Fries doesn't yield any results, and thus the handover is triggered. The plan is also to include the information that the user has already given to the human agent during the handover, so that they can continue where the system left off. And lastly, we have rejecting contacts from history results in directory search. This one kind of speaks for itself, based on the example from the demo. In order for the user to not get stuck in their contact history due to some people sharing the same names, which of course is rather common, we give the user the option to reject that option and instead get a full search done where they can find who they actually want to call. And that was all I have to tell you about the ANT project. My name is Amelie Ostbom. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more about the next generation of conversation, visit our website at www.talkamatic.se or find us on social media. Thank you for your time.
Talkamatic, at your service.